let's talk about Ozempic. So I started Ozempic February of last year. Wait a minute. February of this year. February 20th, 2024. I was 230 pounds. Now, I had lost up to 230, down to 230 rather, because I had gained weight. Because my weight stayed at 229 and 230 for a long time. I mean, it's like I couldn't get past the 220. I couldn't go farther. I go to 225 and then I go back up to 230. So I stayed like that for a long time. And then after getting down, my biggest weight, this ain't got nothing to do with Ozempic. My biggest weight was so I need to say, let's talk about weight and Ozempic, okay? My biggest weight was 298, I believe. Yep. And back in 2000, I think about like in 2007, I was big as hell. I was big. And so I was working at night and gaining a lot of weight, just eating every night, just trying to stay awake, you know. And I stepped on the scales one night, and I didn't do no work because I was the nurse overnight, and I had a lot of guys working with me, and they, we were working at a forensic unit there in Helena. And the most I had to do was like take a few pills out and give the patients like that morning. And all I did was eat to stay awake. Me and a couple of other guys, they were big too. And so one night I decided to step on the scale. We had, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I stepped on the scale. I know that daggone scale didn't say no 298. So the other person that was working with me, the guy, he stepped on the scale. The scale said 300 and something, 30 something. He said, I know that. Like, boy, we were some big ones. So anyway, it was a shame. So I realized, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I was living in West Helena, and I knew, I was like, I had to get out of here because this gonna kill me. So we used to go out and walk at night right in front of the building, go back and forth walking like that's gonna help. It ain't help nothing. So finally, me and my family, we moved to Conway, Arkansas. And I started losing weight because I was big on it. I started walking where I moved to. I started walking in the neighborhood. And I couldn't hardly, I realized, I was, it seemed like the less I ate, the more weight I gained, But anyway, I kept walking and kept walking. Then a year later, I was like 260. So I had lost 35 pounds in that 1 year. And so then I was doing other things trying to help me lose weight because, the food, I was just going, it's like I couldn't leave the food. I don't know. But anyway, I stopped trying to eat. I stopped eating meat. And then I was putting out more carbs. And that's when I became the type 2. Became type 2 diabetic after I was trying to do away with the meat. And it seemed like it helped a little bit. But anyway, so around 2012 is when I had to go in the hospital. So I was around 252. So I had to end up on blood pressure pills and type 2 diabetes medicine. So that was in 2012. So Then I moved back to Tennessee. So when I moved back to Tennessee, I was still working on my weight and working on weight. So then that's when I got my weight all the way down, looked like to 235. I was running up in there 230, 235. So yeah. So then I moved to Midwest. And then I was around the 229. So I stayed there forever. So, of course, I started my job, and I was working and working and working. And then I all of a sudden started going back up. And I got back up to about 245. Like around 2018, I don't know what was going on, but, started gaining that weight back. And then I realized I was like, oh, my God, I got to get this weight back off of me. So I did. I started fasting, and I got the weight back down to 230. Now I said all that to you. Now I'm where I'm supposed to be now. So February of 2024 is like I ain't gonna never get this weight off of me, and I need to try it. I'm scared of Ozempic. I'm scared of everything. And I was watching people on YouTube and people that was way bigger than me, and they were taking a drug, and some people was taking, the doctor put them on it because of their heart. Some people was just, because it was mainly for type 2 diabetics. So anyway, I'm still on the metformin. So my doctor had been and asked me like over a year ago. I was like, I ain't taking no meds. I'm not taking no doggone shot now because I'm scared. I'm thinking it's going to bother my blood sugar out because my blood sugar don't really be high. So I'm thinking that, it's going to be a bad thing for me to, mess with it. So anyway, I started the shot once a week. And it worked. It was the appetite came very few. I didn't really want to eat, and they said I can't stand being nauseated now. And I thought, if it make me nauseated, I can't take it, because I can't stand that. So it didn't do that. I may have felt like 1 or 2 times I might feel like a little nauseated, and it was okay. I said, well, I can deal with that. So I was on a 0.25. I just reading it up on it, and my doctor, he I don't know. Sometimes he act like he paying attention, then sometimes he don't. So I'm really looking at you say after 4 weeks to increase the medicine. I'm like, I ain't increasing it. I'm already scared to be on it, so I am not increasing it. Because my blood sugar was still being good. It was even better. And so, and I pretty much had weaned myself away. I was doing it myself, and I was cutting back. And but I just thought maybe I just go ahead and use this Ozempic and get me over the hump, get me under this 130, get me way under this 130. I mean the 230. And it did every week from February. Okay, March 1st. Okay, I was February 1st. I was 230. March 1st, I was 225. April 1st, I was 220. May 1st, I was 215. And, wait a minute. March, I was 225. April, I was 220. May, I was 215. In June, I was 213. So that's when I kind of got stuck in the summertime between June and August and all that stuff. So I kept going back and forth. It's like I couldn't get to that 210. So finally I got to 210. Somewhere up in there. And then I, on down. I was steady going on down. And anyway, that's where the chokehold came. Between August and now. That was a big chokehold. So I was looking to get to under the 200. I could have been under 200 way before holidays. I could have, but here's the deal. I didn't want to ever not eat anything that I liked. And I wasn't planning on eating anything that I didn't like. That's my point. I'd rather eat a half a banana that I shouldn't eat than eat a whole something else that I don't want. So I know you get me on that. So anyway, so what I started doing is I started fasting again, which I was doing the intermediate fast, and it's just good for you. It's good spiritually, and we all know about being fasting and spiritually, I'm not trying to go there, but it's good. Very, very, very good. But, so I got to the point where, I would do 24. I started out like 12 hours, then 14, then 16, and sometimes I would do 18 hours, and which was very, very good. And but anyway, in the midst of the summer and now, so I weighed December 1st, and I think I was 211 or 212. So I weigh again January 1st. January 1st I'll be weighing, and I hope I'm either under 211. As long as I'm not over 212, I'm good. But then I'm really gonna go ahead and try to get that whatever off, get it under 200. And what I think about the Ozempic, so here I am almost at a year of being on Ozempic, and I haven't completely lost 30 pounds. So the good thing about that is I was losing the weight at a very, very low rate, which is very, very good. If you lose weight slow, 9 times out of 10, you probably won't gain it back. And so my thing is, I didn't want to change a lot of my, I wanted to change some of my eating habits, but I didn't want to change a whole lot about it, because I know if I ever once go off of the Ozempic, and I have pretty good control, if I want to have. So, I'm still on the Ozempic, but guess what I did not do? I did not go up. I'm still on the 0.25. And I'm glad I'm still on it, because I was still losing the weight, because there is sometimes I feel like that I'm not taking Ozempic because my appetite is really, really good. And then there have been some days, very few, that I was like, shoot, I'm hungry again. And really could really eat, I could go and really eat something, And but it's not all the time that I do that. So overall, it's been a good deal for me, the Ozempic. But I just didn't want to be that it's been so good that, and then I get, I lose weight so fast, and then I get off of it, then I gain the weight back. No, I don't ever intend on gaining this weight back. I haven't lost, once I get under 200, and I will, because my A1C runs like around 6.4, and the goal is for Ozempic people to be under 7, to be at 6. That's the goal. And so I've been at my goal even before I started it. So I'm still in the 6. The lowest I've gone is 6.2. So I know that if I get under 200, I'm going to be, my A1C is probably going to go under the 6, which would be good. And so maybe I'm going to say by my birthday, which is in April 2nd, hopefully I've lost another about 10, 15 pounds. My goal is not to lose more than 4 pounds a month. I mean, that's like a pound a week. That's good. That's a lot to me. So, and hopefully if I could continue that, so when by my birthday, I'll be 59 and I'll be under 200. That's a good deal. And we'll see. We'll continue to see what Ozempic do. See, really one thing they haven't found out is the long-term effect of Ozempic. And I hope that that's not a bad thing. But I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people talk about Ozempic, but here's what I found out. Being overweight in one hand, Ozempic in the other one. Okay? Either way, you're better off taking Ozempic. Because this right here, this overweight, you know what it'll do. You don't know. You know Ozempic going to help you with that appetite. You may not know the lasting effects of it. But this right here, you know the effects of it. Because it's going to give you high blood pressure. It's going to give you diabetes. It's going to cause kidney problems. It's going to cause all kinds of stuff in the long run. So, take your pick. Ozempic. And then the doctors a lot of times won't give it to you. Because they say your insurance not going to pay. Well, your insurance is bull crap. They can fix it. But they may not. So, I don't know what to tell you about that. But I say if you're overweight, ain't nothing wrong with you trying Ozempic. And, but if you don't want to, that's on you. I ain't lost all I need to lose. Haven't lost all I wanted to lose. But, because I haven't really stopped eating anything that I was eating. I eat everything that I used to eat. I just eat a lot less. And then sometimes I really don't have a taste for some things. But, even if I had gained a lot of weight and I needed to do the bypass, oh hell yeah, I do it. If I had been now 250, the older you get, for me, the older that I get, the less weight I need. Because being at 250 at my age, I ain't no good. I ain't lying. I ain't no good. So the less I weigh, the better off I am. Because seriously, just being on the real, I can't carry all that weight. I used to carry a lot of weight. Actually, I was glad I was fat when I was younger. Because, they had this thing, because I was crazy, just listening to anybody that, being fat. I would think about how they would talk about how people were getting kidnapped. And I was like, shoot, if I be fat, it'll be hard for them to get me. Child, I was eating every biscuit I could find. But anyway, it's all good. And it's all God. So try it out. Get the Ozempic. So far it hadn't been bad for me. Yeah, I don't have any side effects. The only thing now that I can see is I heard one girl call it the Buddy Love potion. Buddy Love Potion. So that's why I call it the Buddy Love Potion. Honey, sometimes it had me in a chokehold. Yep. And that's what the girl would say. Because she can't eat nothing. And that's how I would be. Sometimes I just be like, ugh. To think about food. I'd be like, ugh, I don't want to, But at the same time, you feel that you feel your stomach just like, ugh, my stomach just don't feel good. And then, but you need to put something in it. So, and really a lot of times, if I can't eat, baby, that's before I started Ozempic. Anytime I couldn't eat, I was sick. I don't never get too sick to eat. And I don't never get too sick to vomit. The only time I vomit is when I was pregnant back in the day. And I think when I had that COVID. Now, I don't know if it was COVID or not, but I got sick in November of 2019, and your girl vomited. And I'm telling you, I believe it was COVID. Because I went to bed, and for about 3 or 4 days, I couldn't eat nothing. And guess what? I was in the bed, and I didn't know if I was in the world or not. I'm telling you. I go to the bathroom, and I was telling my kids to stay out of don't come near me. Yeah. So I don't know if I had COVID or not, child, but I had some. And right after that, I had to retire. I retired nursing. That was at the end of 19, and I had to retire nursing. I was planning on retiring nursing 2020, May of 2020. It was going to be 25 years for me. And in February of 2020, November 19, I was sick. I went back to work. And a nurse told me, I was working at the VA. And one of the VA nurses, she said, Sharina, I almost thought I was going to die. And I said, me too. I said, girl, she said, I don't know, what was that? I said, I don't know. I had never been sick enough to leave work. Never. In a whole 25 years, you know how you can be sick, but I can fight my sickness, whatever, and I can just go on, take care of my patients or whatever. But right after that, my muscles, my bones, I don't know what, but I ain't lying, yeah, it would hurt to walk. When I would walk, it would hurt. I was like, I'm getting old. And so when I said I was getting old, and I thought that's what it was, I said, maybe I'm just, ugh. So I finally told my nurse manager, because I was pushing those carts too. The VA had those big carts, and then we go from hall to hall, getting medicine out of the medicine cabinet, and I was doing things, but I was hurting so bad. And this was 2020. Wait a minute. There was 19. It was in November, like in December, because I went back to work now, November, December. So, went to work. It was January, still at work, whatever, hurting. And then when I told my nurse manager, as a girl, it hurts. I was like, man, I don't know why my muscles and stuff just feel like it hurt. And so, February of 2020, I went into a store, Walmart, and I almost fell. And I kept myself from falling. I was already sore, and I was getting ready to go to this memorial. And I wasn't able to go because I gripped myself. And I mean, when I tell you, when I stood up straight again, I was limping for days. So I went back to my truck, and from that day forward, I have not worked as a nurse. It's true. And so I had to go on light duty. And when I went on light duty, I stayed on light duty until I decided You know, I asked them to reassign me, give me another position. I'm hanging nursing up. I'm hanging it up. So I hung it up in 2020, May of 2020. And it took me a minute for them to reassign me. They reassigned me that next year. And I realized I was still hurting, even being at the desk. They put me in engineering then, and I was a program specialist in engineering at the VA with the federal government. And I stayed in that position. I learned that position, and I stayed. There was a lot to learn, and it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And I realized, and until I heard God say, go home. I'm telling y'all the truth. And my daughter, now that was 2021 of April. I went in there in 20. And then in April of 2021, God told me to go home. And I came home. And my daughter passed. You spend time with your family. That's what God was showing me. Spend time with your family. Take the load off of Robin. Y'all better hear me. Take the load off of her. And do for Shatera what she would do. And let her do what she doing. Hear me. And I did that. And I went to them and I told them that. And I told Shatera, now don't ask Robin to do nothing. I didn't tell her God had said this to me. I told her, if you need something, let me do it for you, because I don't think I'm going back to work. And at that time, I did not have no money. I did not have no money saved up, because my income had I think my income had went down about $10,000 because I took another position. I did. I lost money. I went down from almost 70,000, something like that, to about almost 59 or something like that. But anyway, it went down. And my daughter, my daughter passed on during the time when that happened. And I don't know why. I don't know where I get way over here. But anyway, y'all, Ozempic is not a bad thing. If you want to use Ozempic, I think you'll be doing a good deal. I really do. If you need to lose some weight, get the Ozempic. If you got a good doctor, you need to get a good relationship with your doctor. Get a good relationship. Don't be afraid to speak to your doctor about whatever you need to speak with. The thing that you let them know that you got knowledge of what's going on in your life, and have a good relationship. That's the most important thing. There is nothing that you won't be able to get from your doctor if you got a good relationship with them. And you want to, and I don't mean it to like trying to use them or what, but you need them. And they need you, because you money, you got insurance, and they got to get paid, but you don't want to have nobody in that ain't got your back. I done had some good doctors, and I done had some bad ones. I done had some I almost got to fighting with. I'm just saying. But yep. So I know this video was all over the place, but maybe I can do more videos about, if you like it, if you like me to, I could tell you a little bit about my life, and I can tell you a little bit about some things I know that may help you, maybe not, whatever. But anyway, it's a good day. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm up in the house, in my bedroom, laying across the bed, talking to whoever listening to me. So, I said I was going to do 30 minutes. It's 29:43. So, anyway, 15 seconds and a little bit, I'm going to punch it off. But God bless.